My father-in-law, accidentally, sent me a text meant for someone else, and now I know why my marriage was really falling apart. The message came through at 11:47 p.m. while I was folding laundry. Dominic was already asleep, and I'd been trying to make sense of why our 3-year marriage felt like it was crumbling. He'd grown distant, critical of everything I did. When I cooked his favorite meals, he'd find fault. When I tried to talk about our future, he'd shut down. "She's getting suspicious," the text read. "Might need to accelerate the timeline. The life insurance policy activated last month, so we're covered either way." My blood went cold. I read it 3 times before it sank in. 20 minutes later, my father-in-law sent another message. "Sorry, wrong number. Meant to text my business partner about a client." But I'd already screenshot the first message. I sat in our dark kitchen, pieces clicking into place. 6 months ago, Dominic had suddenly insisted I get a massive life insurance policy. "For our future," he'd said. When I balked at the cost, he volunteered to pay the premiums himself. Around the same time, he'd started pressuring me to go hiking alone on dangerous trails. "You need more independence," he'd claimed, despite never caring about my hobbies before. The next morning, I played dumb. "Your dad texted me by mistake last night," I told Dominic over coffee. "Something about a timeline and insurance." Dominic's face went pale, then quickly rearranged into confusion. "Weird, probably work stuff. You know how he gets." I nodded and dropped it. But that afternoon, I drove to my father-in-law's office unannounced. He owned a small accounting firm, and I'd visited plenty of times before. This time, I paid attention to everything. The receptionist mentioned he was in a meeting with that lawyer again. Through his glass office door, I saw him with a man I didn't recognize. Documents spread across the desk. When my father-in-law spotted me, he quickly shuffled the papers into a folder and ended the meeting. "What brings you here, sweetheart?" he asked, his usual warmth strained. "Dominic's been so stressed lately. I wanted to ask if there's anything going on with the family finances I should know about." Something flickered across his face. "Nothing you need to worry about. Dominic can handle his own affairs." That night, I told Dominic I was going to visit my sister for the weekend. Instead, I drove to a hotel and started making calls. The first was to a private investigator my divorce attorney friend had recommended months ago, back when I first sensed something was wrong. "I need to know everything about my husband and his father's recent financial activities," I said. What she discovered made me sick. Dominic had been slowly poisoning me with small doses of antifreeze mixed into my evening tea. The symptoms, fatigue, nausea, confusion, I'd attributed to stress. The life insurance policy was worth $750,000. He and his father had been planning this for months, waiting for the 2-year suicide clause to expire. The business they kept mentioning? A shell company designed to launder the insurance money. I had 2 choices: confront them or disappear. I chose option 3. Monday morning, I returned home with a gift, a new tea set. "I want to start over," I told Dominic. "Maybe we can have tea together every evening like we used to." His face lit up with relief. "I'd love that." For a week, I prepared our tea ritual carefully, except I'd switched our cups. Every night, Dominic drank what he'd been serving me for months while I drank clean tea from his cup. By Thursday, he was complaining of stomach problems. By Saturday, he was violently ill. Sunday night, as he writhed in our bed, I handed him a printed copy of the text his father had sent me. "Wrong number," I said quietly. His eyes widened in horror as he realized what I'd done. "The police are downstairs," I continued. "Along with the paramedics who'll save your life, barely. The private investigator has everything documented." As they carried him out on a stretcher, my father-in-law arrived. Panicked, he took one look at my calm face and the officers waiting for him, and his shoulders sagged in defeat. I kept the house in the divorce settlement. Dominic got 5 to 10 years for attempted murder. His father got 3 for conspiracy. I still drink tea every evening, but now it's just chamomile, and I make it myself.